Hi there, Cancer. This is Tarot Alchemy by Rain and Moon, and this is going to be a love reading for the month of July 2025. And please excuse any outside noises. There's like landscapers out there, but I have to keep the windows open because it is boiling hot. So anyway, hopefully this is for people who are in relationships, and it's kind of like looking at a troubled relationship from another perspective, or even, if your relationship isn't, completely shaky, but there's a specific issue that you're dealing with that you can't seem to see eye to eye. Maybe the synchronicity of this reading will provide a different type of perspective. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, the heart of the matter is the Justice card. This is a card that is connected to the sign of Libra. Of all the air signs, you would be attracted to Libra because you're both cardinal signs. But this is also a card where we talk about literal justice. So it could be some kind of legal situation. Well, I'm making this about relationships, and I'm excluding other areas of life. So the decision whether or not to get uncoupled legally, in other words, a divorce, the decision whether or not to consult somebody in this particular, the legal profession about anything. Seeking justice can also relate to fairness within relationships. She's holding the scales. This is, about fairness, balance. You may feel like you've been doing the heavy lifting in the relationship in general. If this has, nothing to do with legal matters, just in general, reflecting upon this relationship. And I just put out a video for the full moon in Capricorn, which is actually occurring in the month of July, on July 10th or 11th, depending on where you live. Okay, sorry about that. And that could really be kind of when everything comes to a head, because that will be in your 7th house of committed partnership. So in the meantime, this may be kind of like building up to that. We have here as the past position, which could indicate some kind of issue that has been going on with you and this other person, the 7 of Cups. Now, this could be on your end, that you have been seeing things through rose-colored glasses. It's funny that they have rose-colored cups, because it can be that kind of like seeing things in a very rosy way, but not necessarily the truth of a situation. 7 of Cups can be wishful thinking. Can also be some kind of, like, I would say, alcoholism in particular. There's a term, it's kind of antiquated, called in the cups, somebody who's drunk is in the cups. And some kind of addiction like that. And maybe this has been going on for a long time, and you're finally, seeing it for what it is. And that can be a harsh reality, let's face it. The higher message is the knight, 6 of Wands. I think I said knight because of that horse. The 6 of Wands is connected to Leo. It's Leo energy, and it's all about taking your bow. I interpret this to mean that Cancer is, this is a spiritual message, that you are meant to honor yourself. If you are in a relationship with someone where you do not feel honored, it's not that it's that person's job to get you to love yourself or anything like that. It's simply that you are deserving of a relationship that is at the level that you put out your energy. And that I would say that a lot of Cancer people are very loving and caring towards the person that they're with. And if they're not getting kind of reciprocal energy, it's not to say tit for tat or anything like that, but just the feeling that the feeling is mutual, that is something that is not honoring yourself. It's kind of like giving, 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 and it's going into the void. And that can also tear you down emotionally, in terms of your self-esteem. What crosses you, this is a challenge, is the Queen of Cups. This is a card of this is the card of the mother. This is the card of the artist and the psychic. Something is blocked with these areas. Maybe you can't be the mother you want to be, or, if this is a man listening, the father, the nurturer that you want to be, because you're worn out from a relationship that is really toxic, and so you can't give to your child what you really need to, or you're just or the same thing can apply, like if you are a creative person and this situation has kind of drained you, and you're just kind of like in survival mode. That sucks, because that's, your gifts that you came here to share are you're unable to do that. So the point being that it's so important to recognize toxic relationships. The average Cancer clings to what they have. They remember better days, and that can lead to staying in a situation that is beneath you. What's coming in is a Chariot. This is your card. So the Chariot is a card of travel, of movement. So I would say any kind of change in your circumstances could be the Chariot, but it can also be success. And in one of my books, they say something like within terrible circumstances, or something to that effect, which means that the person is dealing with a lot of things, like obstacles, trying to block them from, their good. And meanwhile, you're able to transcend all of those would-be blockages and be able to persevere. So it's kind of like, yeah, good on you. You're able to do that. And the outcome card is the Eight of Cups. This is a card of leaving behind what no longer serves you. But it could be a greater quest. One thing I forgot to mention, it's funny that it's under the Six of Wands, is that now Jupiter is in your sign. So your sun is in conjunction with Jupiter. I mean, technically it will come when it's within a certain degree span of your sun. But what that can do is it can give you better self-esteem. So the Six of Wands could be reflected in that, and also give you more of spiritual influence that's reflected in the Eight of Cups, where you might say, hey, I think this is a very important time for me right now, spiritually. And I'm going to, go on a spiritual quest. So anyway, very, very interesting. That's what I have for you, Cancer. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, a natal chart interpretation, transits for the upcoming 12 months, combination of those, which is a special package deal that I offer called Deep Dive. I have love readings, career readings. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.